Learn more about Army careers in science, technology, engineering, and math at goarmy.com. More than 150 soldier possibilities ready and waiting. We're here at the Esports Stadium, Arlington. We just saw our first matchup of the 16-team double elimination playoff bracket. Again, I'm Corey Dunn. I'm joined here with Jonathan O, and we're now heading into our second matchup of the day. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule of what we've got for these first four matches of the day. You can see RMU just defeating UTD 16-13. That was a good matchup to watch. It was a lot of fun. And now we've got UConn versus Michigan Tech University, which we'll break down here in a second. Then following after that is Virginia Commonwealth University versus Drexel. And then we've got Kennesaw State University versus Purdue. And that's our first matches of today. But let's go ahead and introduce our first team here in this next best-of-one series. We've got UConn. So UConn, this is how it actually plays out for this team, and this is what we've seen from them the other day. This was actually day number 2, and of course, this is the team that actually 16-0. This is the only 16-0 that we saw in the tournament. They played against Oklahoma State. And there you have it. This is what happened in that very first map. And they played so lights out against that team. And then we saw what they did against Tulsa here as well.
This is we saw that clip. That duel of Ray and Q just absolutely lights out on the B bomb site. We saw some good stuff as well from Splix with that AWP ace, as you just saw on your screen. And there's the players in front of us. We actually got to talk to Ali a little bit. I think they said they played for many years with each other.
Yep. And
so one of the teams that they wanted to keep their eye on was UCF, and which we'll see them later today. But to keep the eyes on UConn, the combo of Q and Ray, if they get to Inferno, that is absolutely a map I would ban against them. Way too strong on that side. And like you said, they did 16-0 on Vertigo. That was against Oklahoma State. And as you see how the bracket shook up there, and I would absolutely be afraid of going against this team. They were one of those teams. They were one of the top seed teams, as we mentioned, and they've been kind of quiet throughout this tournament. We haven't given them the same praise as we've given like UCF or RMU, but when we saw them play, they were absolutely lights out.
Yeah, you can see right there, 16-0 against Oklahoma State, 16-8 against Tulsa. You've got the likes of Ali, you've got Q, you've got Lighty, you've got Splix. So they've got a really, really, really good team there for UConn. And so that's how this one kind of shaped out of Group B. They end up being the number 1 team out of that and advanced into the playoffs to be our second matchup of the day. Their team that they're facing off against, though, is Michigan Tech University, the Huskies. This is what we saw from them during their series on Group G. We saw this 2 days ago, and you can see how Clean Slate had some really, really good op shots throughout the game. And so, of course, they had some tough matches, though, that they had to play against. And you can see, of course, Rascal was in that one as well. He does not play for any EU or anything like that. But, you know, it's funny to see how well these guys were playing in their matchups. And then that's how it all shaped up there. So, Clean Slate, Dead O. We've also got Immortalized, Jello, and Hunter. Kind of talk us through these players right here that you see.
Well, we saw Dead O on Nuke when they were playing against,
so good.
Yes,
on the first map.
Yes, when they were on UNT, when they were playing against UNT, absolutely lights out on that bomb site, B ramp, and then towards the later halves against UNT, when they were in the losers finals of their group, Hunter was the one who came alive, dropping up to upwards of 30. We had some moments to speak with him. He shared with us a dad joke that I won't repeat because I didn't write it down. I remember it, but we'll move on with that one. But
oh man, yeah, it was a dad joke, just not one you'd say again.
But that's what I've always been saying. Dad jokes are better the worse they get.
I don't know if that's true.
There was one I hit you with the other day that I won't share. Well, actually, I feel like I should, but I'm not going to. It was the one where you said rough, and I said, wait, what did the dog say? And you said what? And I repeated rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I told you I didn't want to say it, Corey. I didn't want to say it, but you made me say it.
Send us some better dad jokes on our Twitter account or in Twitch chat. We'll kind of call.
Oh, if they're bad, I'll say any of them.
Yeah,
I'm not.
So go ahead and send us some terrible dad jokes in Twitch chat or whatever. But this is how they played in Group G. They faced off against UNT the first time. They won that one 16-5. That was on Nuke that we talked about earlier. And of course, this is only a 3-team bracket, and so they faced off against UNT again after they got defeated by UCF. Now UCF was just crazy. They definitely lived up to their name in this tournament. We'll see them later on today. They faced off against UNT, but that one was really interesting. We did not see the same Michigan Tech University in that best-of-3 series that we saw in map number 1. it was a rough series for Michigan Tech, but they did claw their way out. They did win that series, and they are here as our second team who will now be facing off against UConn. Let's take a look at the pick bands, though, right now, where they sit. MTU, of course, UConn decided that they were going to let MTU ban first, and so this is how it played out. MTU bans Train, Vertigo, as well as Dust 2. And then on the flip side, UConn decided to ban Mirage. They banned Overpass. Thank goodness. Those are the two maps that we've seen a lot of. And then that brings into pictures between Inferno and Nuke. And then they selected Nuke. Now, I feel like we've got a lot of information, something that you might look at it from UConn's perspective. I know Ollie, we've watched him. He's actually been in our Twitch chat quite a bit as well. So he has been watching a lot of the games that we've seen here. And so he probably is paying attention to that Nuke match that we see over there. What we've seen for MTU and how they played against UNT. We saw it twice. We saw Nuke twice from MTU, and more importantly, what that means is that they got to see the counter-terrorist side twice and how they play it, and then also got to see them have challenges on the second time frame whenever they were there on Nuke, which means they got to see how they adjust and what they do for that as well. So we're going to take all those different things into consideration going into this matchup. What's some of your takeaways from this one?
Well, I was absolutely wrong. I remember saying that if I'm MTU, I'm wanting to ban Inferno, because I do not want to get to that combination of Ray and Q on that B bomb site, as no team as we've seen so far has been able to penetrate that site with those two there. Only seen it once, but regardless, they looked very strong. And it was actually UConn banning Inferno to go last to force onto Nuke. So with that said, to your point exactly was the comment I was going to make, is they might have seen them yesterday on Nuke, and they, as you mentioned, Ollie being the one, I think he's the shot caller for that team as well. He was looking on, maybe he saw the strategies of them. It was like, okay, we can exploit this, we can exploit that, we can take them in gunfights here, we know how they play here. We saw Undeado in the first series absolutely holding on to that B ramp site with flawless execution, always rotating every position he needed to be, found himself everywhere in that room, and they could not overcome it the first time as UNT. But when they got there the second time, Dedo started to be a little bit more exposed, and that's where we saw Hunter stepping up, finding over 30 kills for himself, taking outside, finding all the picks he wanted to. And we didn't see a lot of play towards Secret, actually, and that's something that we saw with UTD when they played against their team yesterday, Kansas State. When they played against Kansas State, we saw the battle for Secret yesterday. So I wonder if UConn goes with that expectation going in, that we're going to control Secret and like the B ramp side, or if they're going to try to go for a slow A approach. We did not see an A hit from either team yesterday on Nuke, and I don't think we've even seen fast A hits, period, where they just blow open squeaky and just run right through. We haven't seen that at all. So maybe that's where UConn's going to try and change the pace a little bit, bring a very fast game onto Nuke. And if I'm them, I almost want to start on the T side, just because you saw so much CT side from the side of MTU. I've been talking about a lot of teams. I'm getting mixed. There's a lot of letters going out now. But if I'm UConn, I almost feel comfortable starting off on that T side.
Yeah, so we'll pay attention to that, but let's go ahead and take a look. We saw our very first matchup of the day already happen between RMU and UTD. So we're going to kind of, again, pay attention to where things are and how this tournament shapes out. So RMU currently, they advance. They'll be playing tomorrow. Currently it's scheduled for 6 p.m. tomorrow. But we'll make adjustments and things as it makes sense if it's possible. Then you've got UConn and MTU, which we're about to go under. Whichever team wins this matchup between UConn and MTU now has to face off against RMU. This bracket is going to be very, very difficult for whatever teams that you look at. I mean, there's going to be a lot of really good competition as well. Same can be said. You got VCU and Drexel. They have to face off against either Kennesaw or Purdue, and so that's going to see that. We'll see that the following match tomorrow as well. And then you look at down to the lower side of the upper bracket. You've got Rochester versus UAH. That team will either play the winner of Northeastern versus Pitt. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, my expectations is we'll see Rochester and Northeastern possibly advance forward. And so we'll see how that matchup is. I look forward to that one. Then you've got UCF versus Miami University, Ohio. That's going to be later on today. And then we've also got Kansas State versus St. Clair. So seeing those matchups as well, we'll see who's going to play off. I mean, Kansas State and UCF, that would be a lot of fun to watch. Just the way, again, we saw some really – our number one teams, our first place teams out of each group just looked really, really good throughout this tournament. So that'll be fun to watch.
That one will be fun to watch, as well as we've been mentioning this time and time over, is UCF is the team, absolutely the #1 team with a target on their back.
Yep.
Everyone mentioned we want to play UCF. We want to get revenge on UCF. They beat us previously. It was a close game. We think we should have won. So there are many hungry teams in this upper bracket. And funny enough, no one's really talked about RMU, the #1 seeded team in Northeastern, some of the top teams in this bracket. No one's really talked about them. It's UCF. So if UCF has clearly made a splash in the collegiate scene, as a lot of teams really want their revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we can take a look at the lower bracket for a moment. We're waiting for this one to completely fill out as well, but you can see here are some of the matches that we'll see earlier in the day. We'll see 2 loser bracket matches tomorrow that will start off our day. We'll see 2 loser bracket matches that will be on Thursday that will start off that day as well. So we'll see some really this lower bracket is going to be a long one as well. All of these matches are best of 3, and they happen in quick succession as well. I mean, we're going to see match after match after match as we near getting closer to that Saturday and Sunday as well.
If I read this right, on Saturday we actually have 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. the day.
Yeah, it's going to be our Saturday is going to be our longest day that we actually do for this entire broadcast, and that's just because we want to basically, of course it's Saturday, you leverage it as much as possible, because Friday there's still people that have to go to school,
Exams,
people that have
class.
to, yep, exactly. So there's different circumstances that are there. So and very little flexibility for those days, because sadly one team has to wait for the next team to play to determine who you're playing against. So there's some impacts that happen across the board there.
Hey,
so we'll see that
I'm
as
all
well.
for it. That just means more matches. That's going to be further in our lower bracket. That's only going to be good best of 3s. As I really expect only good best of 3s on here on out. As we're going to see how this shapes up, and those will be good matches, and there's going to be a fun time then. As that'll lead into the finals.
Yeah, the loser of our matchup that we're about to get into, of course, we're just waiting. One player was having some issues getting connected. That's what happens with online play. Nothing that's out of the usual. So we stand by. Now we have all 10 players that are in our Discord server, and that's what our rules state. Is making sure that all players are there. We've talked to all the players, so that's what we're making sure of, that they're good to go before we start things up. But it looks like we are having all the players have joined into the server, so we're in a better circumstance. We're about 25 minutes behind our kind of a predicted schedule, but we'll see different matches that will bring us back on schedule, others that will push us further back. That's just the nature of gaming. It's the nature of esports, so we'll stay with that as well.
I would be more impressed if we were perfectly on schedule with everything, because seemingly schedules are, especially like a game like Counter-Strike, right? For instance, like coming from the fighting game community, you can kind of predict how long matches will be based on like certain matchups, certain players and how they play. But Counter-Strike could be one of those games, if a team decides to play slow, you're now sitting at 1 minute 55 seconds if they don't plant the bomb, and then they plant the bomb, and it just counts on from there. And if you can't predict if they go overtime, you can't predict if it's 16-0. So there's a lot of factors considered, and I think we've been pretty well on the schedule. Is that we're getting well into our first match. Or excuse me, our second match of the day in our playoff bracket. It's UConn versus MTU, Michigan Tech University, as we have found now that they are pushing on to that A bomb side. Michigan deciding to start on that T side. Excuse me, it's UConn on that T side. I was reading the graphics and it flip-flopped on me. As Lighty has already found himself one, and Ray's going to pick up the second in Hunter on Heaven as they start this retake. They do not have any kits, and they do not have the man advantage. However, they've done some good damage for each other. Q finding the third pickup, excuse me, as Deado is going to get flanked by Ali's coming through now. He's turning his back, and he's taken out. That is 5 people going down on the side of MTU, and 0 people going down for that's UConn. Like I said, Corey, I would feel pretty good if they started on their T side, and that's exactly where they're starting. I'm not sure if there was their decision or not, but that's how this shook up.
All right, so here we go. Got our pistol round out of the way. And so we'll see. It looks like we see a full eco except for one P250 coming out for Hunter. And this is a full stack on the lower bomb side, but guess what? They've already headed here towards the A bomb side. Bomb's going to get planted. And now here comes the onslaught from UConn. You're going to expect them to really just kind of be a shredder here as they come up here. Q is actually being hyper aggressive. He's checking out all of his angles, and they're now made their way up towards the upper bomb side. Ray has got one, and they're just trading now as Lighty picks up the last 3. And so now the score is 2-0 in favor of UConn.
And that was that A fast that we were talking about. It was a little bit different. It wasn't with the full utility. They just kind of ran out there. And fortunately for them, there was no team to meet them as they got the bomb down instantly. And this has been very fast to start off. I want to see how UConn is able to keep up this tempo, keep up this pacing. This MTU we've seen. Oh, and look at that. They're going for another fast A hit, completely caught off guard as Hunter and Jello.
Goodness.
And that is exactly what we've been wanting to see on this nuke site. But Immortal's able to take down 2. He's able to take down the bomb carrier. But it's all for naught as Dedo's the last man alive. He's coming from B ramp. He's now made his way into lobby. There is one player who's going to be prepared to see him, and that's Ali. 3 rounds in 3 minutes, Corey. We are absolutely zipping through this map.
Yeah, one of the things that we talk about behind the scenes, and yes, we still talk about Counter-Strike whenever we're off air, is the fact that we have not seen any crazy A rushes towards the top bomb site, towards A bomb site, and that's what we just saw. That was a great execute, which immediately puts MTU on another random, or on a save where they have to buy Deagles and P250s and 5.7s, and Q is just like, you know what, this MAC-10, it's enough. I really, really like this skin, so we'll continue to pony up, and we see him just dominating as he just sprays. There's another one, and he's just having so much fun. He's like, why not? Here, I've got a Glock. I'm just going to continue to chase.
4 minutes.
4
rounds.
I would love to see the route that Q is taking and just showing how fast, like how much he's moved around. Because you said like that round was roughly a minute, but that doesn't include the 15-second freeze time that happened either.
We started at 1:25. That's what I'm looking. I'm looking at the real life timer.
Yeah, so that means again, so that round was only about 30 seconds that we saw them be able to break there. And so now we see guns coming back out, but this game is flying by.
And they're flying their way
Oh,
to secret. Q is in deathmatch.
Might as well. He's having fun. I asked the teams earlier if they were all ready, and I didn't expect this as a response. And finally, Dedo, he's trying to put a dead stop to how this game has been going because they have to make something happen. Bomb's going to get planted in the lower bomb site, and that splits. He still has a MAC-10. They're going to hit 16K before you know it. And a great peek up there by Ray. Ray is on the opposite side of this garage, and missing the shot is going to be clean slate. And now it's left up to Hunter. Hunter, he's got this Mosaic M4. Decides to switch it out for another one. This time an M4A4. So he pushes in. He's been spotted. They know exactly where he's at. And that's going to do it. Lighty with another one. 5 rounds in a row.
In 5 minutes. I'm just going to keep talking about this timer. We are going quick. If I'm MTU, I might even call a timeout because this is so fast. You've blinked and you've missed it.
Yeah, this game is just we talked about it, what's going to keep us on schedule and what's going to not. I mean, this is one of the things I also mentioned as well, you know, this could be a T-sided map. If you break, oh my goodness. Oh, no.
It even falls.
No. Hunter down to 6 HP, but doesn't matter. This is the Dedo that we saw in the very first map. As he's locked it down, he helped his team out greatly, and Jello has just gone to town as well, helping out as well. It's left up to Splix. And Hunter, who started off the round handicapped at 6 HP, he picks it up, and that's just an odd one, but great job by Dedo as he holds down ramp, and they find their first round on the board. But
there it is.
UConn
there it is.
Yeah. So
let's take a breath. Let's analyze that round. Happened. It was getting so quick. Half the players on MTU bought, and the other half got deagles. That's how messy that started to get for them. It was just absolutely way too fast. And I'm going to note it again. It's been 6 minutes since we started this match. We are round number 6. Now we have a timeout. We're going to start getting a little bit, but the ratio between minutes and rounds is starting to get a little skewed. But UConn, I mean, they could still absolutely keep up the tempo. They have the money to do so.
Yeah, we'll check back in on the time at the half. We don't have to necessarily keep track of every round.
And that's Corey's way of telling me to put the brakes on.
Yeah, we'll make, because it's in the end it will we'll see. But these rounds have been flying by. So now we've got see what type of setup here, and then this time we see UConn decides, you know what? Let's go ahead and slow it down, and that was through the smoke by Q. And I'm questioning whether or not that was actually through the door, because I think he probably shot through the door. The door then opened, created a window, then his last bullet shot through the smoke as well. I don't think the door was even opened up either, unless there was a nade that fell through it. Yeah, that door is completely blown off the hinges. So yeah, it was, the door didn't exist. And so now Hunter's having to backtrack. He's going to throw his own counter molly. And Q is a great entry fragger, as now Lighty is watching this flank. The bomb is going to get planted here on the upper bomb site. It hasn't yet, though, as Splix went hunting. But Hunter shows that he's a better one, as he set himself up a trap. Now it's left up to Clean Slate. Clean Slate has this clean op. And the bomb will be ticking away here. And Q actually has picked himself up and op as well. He's been fun to watch. His play style in this game, now I know that it doesn't necessarily translate to every match that he would probably play, but this game in particular, just no respect. Just running around, as you said. He's been DMing this whole time, and he's been getting some really great entries. He's just started off the round and creating some really crucial moments.
So he's at 9, and his counterpart that we talked about, his duo on the Inferno site, Ray, is at 10. So we've been talking about Q, but Ray's got 10 for himself.
Well, cause we talk about Q because he's getting the entries.
Yeah, he's getting the flashy stuff. Yeah. Ray's just be like, all right, I'm going to pick up the clippings here. Now it looks like they're going to go for a fast A hit. We see that Squeaky being open. They don't open the vent, and now they're on site.
Ray's already made his way all the way in there, but he needs to worry about over the top. A Clean Slate is just firing at him, let him know that he's up here. And Q wins against Hunter. Oh, but Jello and Immortal are there. Immortal actually getting that one on Ray. I think Ray, yeah, that's great work by him. Now Splix is going to be pushed back, and now they have to slow this round down. But look at that Jello. He's got 1 HP. And you know that you're seeing from UConn going, I know he should have been dead. He should have been, but Jello's still holding on to 1 HP, which is more than enough. And over the top is going to be Clean Slate. He has not moved away from that position. Now he'll back up, and he falls right back into the scope of Splix. Now down to a 1-on-3 or 1-on-2.0, as Jello is right there, and he ends up getting the kill. He picks up 3 in the round. He was the one that shut down that upper bomb rush, and now MTU finds themselves in a second round here.
Now that MTU's starting to put up a fight, let's see how UConn tries to alter their strategy, if they even do. You're at 6-2 on this map, and we've seen as round swings as big as 13-2 in favor of the CTs. SQ once again just does not have any respect for Squeaky Door, just wants to keep it open. Wants to see everything. This time they break the vents. They are not in a position to go down them just yet. Now we just see what it looks like a line down the board on their side. 2 players outside, 2 players in lobby, and then 1 player playing close to that B ramp. Of course, we're seeing Dead O at that ramp, the solo representative. That grenade's going to find 15 damage for itself, and Clean Slate finds the first pick on the Ollie outside. Bomb is still down. We've got 1:13 on the clock here. We haven't seen much movement here from UConn.
Looks like they're about to start moving here towards the A bomb site.
Q wants to go hunting.
Through the wall.
Awareness there from Ray. Maybe he had the call out from Q. We saw Q poke out a little bit, and Ray was able to follow that up. As you know, he was up the odds of 4-4 as they're going back for the bomb, and they're on site. Q, who else is leading the front? There's 1 player, and they're going to find him in Immortal. He's going to have to run his way out of there as the Molotov misses and doesn't find its way towards heaven, but Q's still watching the angle. Oh, he's going to get seen by Clean Slate. Jumps himself out of there, and the bomb goes down. It's a 2v4. Money is not in the worst spot, but it's also, it's actually pretty bad for the side of MTU.
That was a good call out, because you know that Q made a call out saying that Clean Slate or an Opper is outside, and Dedo goes back home to his normal position.
Oh, and Q might be looking for him here. He's and they're gonna find him now. He's got some players chasing him down. He's gonna take out 1 before he's removed. So that's 7 on the board for UConn. As we say, they wanted to change up the strategy. Their strategy was Ollie, go get picked outside, and then we'll take the site. And that is exactly what happened as we see that wallbang again from Ray. Just
that's one of the things
unethical.
I've always been a fan of Nuke. You know, the paper-thin walls, being able to clear out. So you don't necessarily have to go towards, you don't have to go through the main entries. You can basically create your own openings by checking different angles. But I love this. We probably should pay more attention to the spawns that Q and Ray have as the bomb is getting planted now and trying to creep his way through his Clean Slate. And now you've got Jello. Oh, man, Dedo was right there behind his teammate. And now they're going to be able to push in. Oh, uh-oh, as Jello's caused some damage. And that's going to do it, though, as Ollie shaking it off, wishing that he could have cleaned that out a little bit further. But I would love to see the T spawn. I mean, because you're seeing Ray and Q, they're getting to the door really, really, really fast. And I'm curious if they're getting that better spawn. And those two players getting that type of spawn is just perfect for them. Now, spawns adjust round per round, but of course you circulate and you get back to those. But they may be getting those better spawns because look how fast they're getting to those doors.
And now they're at B ramp, just pushing their way on through.
Good molly, though, from MTU.
And now they've taken out Dead O, that one guy to keep our eyes on at that site. He's down, as now they're going to make their way down to the B bomb site. They've already found themselves on the site. That bomb's going to be going down just in a few moments in the hands of Rays. Now Hunter's being sought from behind by Q. And who else? And that's a Negev coming out from Immortal. And maybe they got so tired of them just running out of squeaky doors, said, all right, we're just going to hold this door. We're just going to mouse click one, and that's it. As Jello's able to find Ali, and it's now a 3v3, clean slates.
Yeah, there's a conversation that was actually had watching UNT. I actually believe it was Immortal that was replying to it as well about the Negev, but more importantly about the Negev on Nuke. And right there, Jello's the last one alive. He's down to a 1-on-2 though. And he spots. Oh, and he does take him out. Oh, this could be a chance as Ray decides to push up even further. Bomb is going to explode, but he does take them away, picks himself up an op, and he does stay alive. But there was conversation that was happening in the our CSGO channel for discord.gg/esportstadium. We were having conversations about the Negev and more importantly about the Negev on Nuke. Now, I would say, any weapon could be, effective on Nuke. It's just the Negev is just that spray and pray and see what you can find. You can just spray longer versus, efficient, right? There's two different levels here. But now we're seeing an attack on the outside quickly. Got a couple players that are there. As Q, we need to see, I'm going to request this from my team. At the end of this game, I want to see Q's stats, and I want to pull up a player profile on him at the end. And more importantly, I want to see how many entries he's gotten, if we can get that stat, if we can get that information.
Well, it's going to be a lot, Corey. I can tell you that right now. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a lot. As we see, the bomb is still outside. It's in the hands of Ray as they're trying to find one. They find Jello. The last person is dead. Oh, he's holding that AWP from near the spawn, and they're going to know where he's at. They're just going to run right onto the site and get that bomb down. He's got a kit, is Dead O. And that smoke, I'm not sure if that was intentional. He looks back at it, wishes he had it back. Wishing he could just go and pick it up as Dead O's found himself an AK. Molly's off Squeaky, and now he's trying to work with what information he have, which is 0. He sees one player on site that's a little bit more than 0 as Lightning tries to fight him, and Ray's going to be able to pick it up. 10 on the board here for UConn, 10-2, as this map is zipping on by.
John, at the half, you can still update us. That's okay.
I wasn't going to say anything. Ray sitting on 18 for his team as we talk about Q being on 14. The entry fragger pretty much making it happen every single time. As once again, it looks like they are running very quickly out through Squeaky.
Well, they're just getting to position so fast and trying to challenge those gunfights, which again puts the CTs on, they're uneasy. They don't know how to play, how to defend against it because they're just getting hit and hit and hit again and again. And great shot by Ollie there. Now left up to Hunter, and Hunter get quickly traded as well. And man, I'm such a huge fan of seeing UConn. They just attack and make things happen. This is a CT-sided map, but whenever you have a team that has really good entries, and you have players like Q and Ray, it changes the way that this map is approached completely.
I want to go to Q if we can here. I want to just stick with his perspective as we're actually just running straight through now. And Q's wanting to make his way towards that hut as the rest of the team has gone out to Squeaky. So Lighty has actually found his way in the side. And so has Ray. Q's found the kill, but he has not found his team any other success than that.
Yeah, Jello was almost taken out by, I believe it was Ray, but he pulled his shot. He thought he had actually taken him out. It's one of those muscle memory deals, and so he pulls away a little late or a little early. And so now they've made their way down to the lower bomb site. They've got 0 conflict here.
MCU's they've got to change up their plan. The second Dead O goes down, they immediately just run on the site and get it for free. Either they need to stack 2 players there, maybe send one towards B, but that's the thing with UConn. They just are so aggressively running towards that A site, they feel afraid to put anything more towards this B.
Well, 3 is not enough for the A bomb site.
And we've seen that.
Or
you are
2.
absolutely correct.
Yep, so. But now they've got some good control. It's going to be left up to Splix. Splix is going to be in a good angle. No kit here. And he drops 2 just like that. And he's got a perfect angle, and he's right there over the top. It's going to be clean slate. He says, here, I'm on a pedestal. Let me give it to you. And so now UConn 12-2. Whew.
Corey, just remember how I mentioned at the very beginning of this game, I wanted to see UConn on the T side because I just wanted them to overwhelm the side of MTU. That is exactly how this has gone.
Yep.
And it has gone with unbelievable success so far for UConn. We've seen score lines like this, but it's always been on the side for the T's. Excuse me, the CTs on this map. As now it looks like they're trying to make an outside hit. Mortalize is going to find one, and that's Ali. He goes down. Right behind him is the bomb carrying Lighty. He's not going to try to push on out. He doesn't want to put the bomb out there just yet. But he has found himself in towards Secrets. The question is, how is he going to get his rest of the team there? Now they know the bomb's there, and now they know the bomb's down, as Splix has just found a pick onto Immortal to trade. Here comes Q, marching onto that side. He's not able to find anything, so Jello's winning that fight. This might be the 3rd on the board for MTU. It might be a little bit of a smile on their faces going into the half, knowing that they could at least stop the bleeding somewhere. So now we see Splix has the bomb, and he is taken out. So 3 on the board there. Nice hold from MTU. Unfortunate for them that they didn't have more holds like that. It is a 12-3 half for the side of UConn. And Corey, for your time update, we saw 15 rounds in 19 minutes. There was 1 timeout in there. So 19 minutes for 15 rounds. That is absolutely the fastest half that we have seen.
Oh, no question. Yeah, that's the way that, again, UConn and Q and Ray and the rest of the team are just right there with them. I mean, I don't want to just say like they're the ones that they're just the spear of the, and the rest of the team are just right there next to them. And that's why we're seeing action happen so fast. Now, let's see how they do on the defensive side. You'd expect them to be very lethal, and that is the case. And look at that. Q's like, I'm coming for you. So hungry. And that's going to leave Clean Slate by himself. And he's just hanging out. He's like, I don't want any of this. He's stuck inside a vent. All 5 players.
He could still go down there.
He could. And he peeks wide. He's getting taken out by Lighty. Oh, my goodness. This game is going to be over fast.
We were making jokes about that yesterday. You know how like dinosaurs, if you don't move, they can't see you?
Yep.
That's exactly what Clean Slate was doing there. It's like, all right, if I just stand still in this position, they can't find me. And once again, you're seeing both of those picks coming through the smoke. And there's Q. Says, I know where they're going. I'm going to follow them in. I'm one of you.
Oh, man. Q, he has 0 respect for how this game is going. And so that's why you're just seeing him just go, oh, they're there. Okay, cool. Ray with picking up 1. They're all up on top of Marshmallow. And look at this. He just stays out there. He doesn't play the angle. He just stays out there and continues to fight. The only time he pulled away was he doesn't even reload his UMP. Why would you? And he's not even reloading his pistol round. He's got 2 shots left in the USP. Okay, all right. Thank you. Because the respect level is getting very low.
I don't even know if it's the respect level's low, but the confidence level is absolutely.
That's it.
I would say their confidence levels are nuclear at this point. Oh, he was flashed off on that one. Still finds the headshot. Now it's just left to Clean Slate.
Love it. MTU, this is a tough game. There's no question. But UConn is just playing Clean Slate by himself again. He could win this. He knows where both of them are at. He just needs to be smart about this.
Well, he needed one of those to be quick, as Lighty is going to find the closing kill onto Clean Slate, and he's wishing he had one right now, as it's 14-3 in the favor of UConn. And wow, these CT-sided rounds are even just as fast, as they are forcing the aggression onto the T's on MTU.
Oh, man. Clean Slate had a chance. He of course, it had been tough. And they did line up perfectly where you needed to. You just needed to hit the first one needed to be a headshot.
He got 1 player to 14. If he was able to find the closing on that one, all it took was 1 headshot after that, as Ali's going to spot one there. As MTU has tried to take a break here, take a breath and slow down, as Hunter's now gotten tagged.
Yeah, Ollie's got his teammate there to support him. That's Lighty. So And there you go. They push out before the smoke blooms. That happens time and time again. But there you go. They chase after. That was a good move by Jello. Jello's playing pretty well. All right, so I'm not going to take away from Jello. The rest of his team are just not finding. They were not able to defend themselves well against the likes of Q and Ray. And look at this, this fight through the door. And Q, again, tries to win it. And this time, Clean Slate is here. Uh-oh, Clean Slate. He's had enough. Enough is enough. And Splix just spraying through the smoke. He's going to be able to get away from that one.
You just hear the counter spray through the smoke. Goodness.
Yeah, so you see them set up here in the site. Let's go ahead and hop back in here. Let's see the spamming here. See if Ollie can just find a random pick through the smoke. This round's going to go to MTU. Dead-O, though. All right. And that was actually through the wall. So I'd be curious to see if we were able to catch her that on replay, what actually happened from Jello. All right, it was just from the. I saw it on this other screen here. That wasn't necessarily anything too crazy. It was through the. They basically spotted him in the opening and shot him through like the door frame. Nothing too crazy. I was expecting to see them shoot them back through the garage, through the actual garage door. That didn't happen there. So now we see pistols coming out here for UConn. And here comes the aggressive push. That actually pulled a player there. Oh, that could have been lethal. And this round is done just like that. So MTU picking up another one now. So UConn 14, MTU 5. And we're going to see another save coming in here for UConn.
I wonder if they're going to be playing as fast as they did last time. They just wanted to get that round out of the way. They wanted to just get closer to their guns. 14-5. UConn only needing 2 more rounds to close this out as Hunter pulls the pin a little bit too soon. Doesn't want to throw the smoke grenade just yet. Once again, we're seeing Q. It's very aggressive position. He's going to have to reload that CZ.
Oh, that angle. That CZ just takes so long to reload, but he was in the right spot. He could have won that one. But, uh-oh. Lighty, he gets the AK. He still has health, so he's not going to drop it to his teammate. And Ollie is under fire, but here's Lighty. Oh, my goodness. They could have lined up for him. 14-6, MTU scratching their way back at this one. So we take another look here. You can see Jello as he finds each of these entries here.
Oh.
And he picks up one clean slate to cause damage there before that kill. But 14-6. Lots of rounds to be won for MTU.
Well, they've got the momentum at least, and their money's looking fantastic. So if they're able to stop this round from UConn, or slow them down, I should say.
It's 12-3, correct?
It was 12-3. That is correct. As Splix goes down through the smoke. That's their lone AWP on the side of Garage, as Hunter's going to make his way on top. Q holding this angle. He's playing it quietly, as little does he know that Hunter is watching him from above, as he's not trying to push out just too far yet. Just to call out, Q's got 30,000 kills on that M4. That's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of aim maps that are out there.
Is 30,000 still a big number? Anyways, Hunter holding down with this Krieg, just waiting, hoping that one of those players tries to poke out from Mini. And there's Clean Slate finding Ray. He now jumps down, and he's able to win that fight. Q holding that position, but not long enough, as they're going to now run onto this A-bomb site. Lighty's still holding a position. They don't see him there just yet, but Dead-O's going to find him, and not soon enough. That's the bomb going down. It's a 2v2. What's looked to be in favor. Oh, he almost was able to get there in time. It's left to Ali, and he's not looking at the right angle. Clean Slate finds 3 on the board, and it's a team ace between him and Hunter. Now it's 14-7 on the board, and the money's not looking great for UConn. Corey, we could start seeing some rounds coming out for the side of MTU now.
Yeah, if UConn continues to play with this game and just having fun with it, it could actually start to impact them, and they won't be able to get their hands back onto the steering wheel. But they are a very talented team. So, and right now you see how aggressive they're playing, and so now you got a very passive MTU, because this is a save round, and just like that, they're all falling one by one. Left up to Ollie now. That sometimes happens, where you can't find the groove that you had once you first started. You start playing around, and you're just having fun with it. I mean, you had a 12-3 CT side, and they still have a 6-round lead at this point. But I have seen it several times before where a team will start having fun with it, and then they have too much fun, and they lose control. But Ollie trying to stabilize as he picks off Hunter. I was right there. You should see that's where Hunter was. Oh. Trying to get a ridiculous flick there. Jello checking every angle through the paper-thin walls. You might not realize that he's almost out of ammo. Yeah, he's at 30-21. He's already down to 51 bullets.
You don't see it very often when players run out of bullets completely.
Yeah.
But Jello's trying to show us something we haven't seen so far as we're now on board with Ray. He's got 21 on the board. I believe Jello's actually leading the server with 27. MTU is trying to find a strategy they feel comfortable with, as there's 2 AWPs holding down this B bomb site.
Yep.
Jello's now taken out. He's got 26, so I'm corrected by 1. And this is a little bit more of what we'd expected out from the side of UConn. Just playing it slower, not trying to get too aggressive. Is now down to 1 and dead. Oh, he's not able to find it. So that's 2 picks from Light Sniper, or Lighty.
That's a good job.
Now that is match point.
Yeah, so there had to be a conversation that happened for UConn. They went fully into their default set. They made sure that each player was holding their positions. They worked together. There wasn't anything flashy about that round, and they played that as a very solid CT side. So there must have been some type of communication saying, "All right, guys, let's don't get this out of hand. We're already on schedule, so we don't need to do any more. Let's just go ahead and kind of round this one out." Now they give up ramp room. Completely have given it up. And Lighty's still going to have to hold here. Ollie went ahead and dropped down towards the lower bomb site. That was a pick on the outside. Ray is already down there as well. So they fully rotated. They were basically trying to show that they would give up ramp room, but the time is ticking away. Now they're starting to understand, well, maybe they're not coming ramp. We haven't seen anybody contest us yet. Q is still holding this position, so we'll see how these flashes and smokes kind of help them out. Lighty is also watching the flank as well. And now Q heard that door open, which gave them the first little entry. Now they're starting to come into the bomb site. Q's caused some damage, but now here is Ray, his buddy, his partner in crime, as now it's left up to Hunter. Hunter down to a 1-on-3 as he's trying to help his team extend this one out. He is currently 12-18. Can he make it 15-18? There's one. Oh, he pulls away. He doesn't know that there's another player just around the corner. He pulls out the utility, which is a big no-no in any 1v situation, especially whenever you're under gunfire. And there you have it. 16-8 is your final score in favor of UConn.
Yeah, that one, the 16-8, I will say it was probably closer than what that was actually, as we saw just absolute dominance on the T side from UConn. And so one of their benefits we've discussed is they didn't really have to show anything on their CT side. They didn't really have to show any strategy. It was just always foot on the gas, 100 miles per hour, everyone go, and that's what will take them on into their next match of the playoffs, which they'll find RMU tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough matchup, but the way that UConn played that, they might be the right kryptonite for that series. So if Q and Ray come out to play like they did, getting all of those entries, anything is possible. I mean, map pick is going to make a huge impact on that, so they really probably should spend some time. Of course, Ollie is the in-game leader. He's the captain over there for UConn, so we'll see what type of decisions he makes. But it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a really good game as well, so we'll see that tomorrow coming in between UConn versus RMU. So, John, what are some other takeaways that you had from that? I mean, 12-3 scoreline for the first half for a T side for UConn. That's a pretty good scoreline.
Main takeaway is that went exactly as I wanted it to go. I wanted to see UConn coming right out of the gates, putting the foot on the gas, because MTU had a strong nuke side we saw twice yesterday. They were not contested or challenged in the sense of just fast, aggressive play. And this map, they were absolutely contested, absolutely put to the test, and they were not prepared.
Yep.
And UConn's able to move on.
Yeah, let's go and take a look at a player spotlight. We saw some really good gameplay from Q. We saw some good gameplay from Ray. But here you are. This is this final score line. Sadly, we do not have the entries stat line to be able to go off of. It's just not provided. But if you look at this one, 23 and 15. That's his KDA, kill death assist ratio. Look at that, though. His kill ratio per round still at 0.96, so just dropping him one by one. 35% on headshots. He's got 8 MVPs, which of course means he's got multiple kill rounds because we didn't see a whole lot of diffuses and things like that. But he had 2 rounds that were actually 3Ks as well.
So a good standout performance from him, and I'm excited to see what damage that team can do. As you said, I think that might be the kryptonite for RMU, but They were absolutely the kryptonite for MTU.
Yeah, one of the things I want to hear though is what was how was UConn's voice channel? We've got Ray here with us as well. Ray, all right, we see your glamour shot in our interview here, but kind of talk us through what happened from your side. 12-3 first half on T side. Talk me through it.
Yeah, well, we started with our pistol, same thing we always run. Worked out really well, and then like we got into our gun rounds and aggressive plays were working, so we decided to just keep going with them.
Yeah, kind of talk us through it. I mean, the combination, we've mentioned it, or at least we've noticed it, but I want to hear it directly from you. I mean, you and Q are lights out on your entries. How's that partnership been? Is it new? Is it, how old is it? Is it this kind of expand even further? Kind of talk us through that.
Well, we've all been playing together for a really long time, but more recently, me and Q have been working together like on more sites. Like our B side on Inferno was a recent thing where it's been me and him. And yeah, on Nuke, we've been the ones like entering when it's not Adrian because he's really good too. But yeah, we try to be like aggressive whenever we can. And for the most part, when the entries are working out, we're doing good. We're just rolling through teams.
I want to talk about it for a moment. I want you to be truthful with me. Don't give me the competition side. Oh, we played a good game. Like that's not what I want to hear. I want the real you on this one, Ray. All right, talk me through. I mean, we saw Q had a MAC 10 for majority of the T side, even though you guys were dominating. So talk me through, how did it sound in your channel?
Well, at first it's like just regular comms for like the first round. Then we start getting momentum. Then we start talking more. We start yelling a bit more. It's really momentum based. So things started getting heated up a little bit. We started talking a little bit trash. Guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Things just kept going well for us. So.
Yeah, and all of this is in good competition. I mean, that's trash talking happens in every sport, and sometimes you guys you're talking to each other too, right? You weren't.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear a lot of text dialogue that was happening in game. So I don't know if there was any of that banter, and I'll let you guys keep that. That's you guys. If y'all want to banter in game, as long as I don't hear about it later and I have to talk to my HR department, then we're fine. We're okay.
Well, I don't know if the stream saw, but I threw a few GG sprays down.
No, I don't recall. But of course, we'll take a look at it. But Ray, give me a comment of what you've got kind of looking forward. You guys are playing against RMU next. That will happen tomorrow.
Yeah, we can't wait. We've always wanted to play like the best collegiate team there is. Excited to see what happened to them against USCS, but we're ready to fight them.
Awesome. Well, Ray, thank you so much for joining us here, and also thank you for getting us back on schedule as well. So we've got so that matchup again, UConn taking it 16-8 over MTU. We've got more Counter-Strike coming your way. Oh man, this already started off as a fun day. We've kind of had some different splashes and flair. Make sure you tell all your friends as well to join us, twitch.tv/esportsstadium. We put a lot of effort into this tournament. We've made sure that everything was possible for you guys. We want to make sure that the fans are able to experience as well. So reach out to all your family and friends. Have them check out this next matchup, which is VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, facing off against Drexel after this.